artificial intelligence.
Artificial intelligence in AI.
AI into AI.
Let's talk about AI and whether it's going to take your job.
Should we automate away all the jobs, including the fulfilling ones? Should we allow AI machines to flood the internet with propaganda and fake news? Should we develop non-human minds smarter than our own? Machines that might one day outnumber it.
Hey! Ho ho! Writers, make your favorite shows! Hey, hey!
There's no question artificial intelligence will remake the workplace.
More than 11,000 Hollywood film and TV writers are on strike. This could be the first one in which artificial intelligence plays a big role.
I think we're entering a time of huge uncertainty. It's possible that there's no way we will control these superintelligences, and that humanity is just a passing phase in the evolution of intelligence. That in a few hundred years' time, there won't be any people, it'll all be digital intelligences. That's possible. We just don't know.
Whether you like it or hate it, you cannot ignore it. You cannot ignore the fact that we are going through a revolutionary time. A time that can be compared to the age of the Industrial Revolution. Except now, there are so many revolutions going on at the same time that we are losing track of reality. Our ability to distinguish between what's fact and what's fiction. While our future might look more grim than ever before, artificial intelligence has reached a point where it can outsmart the best chess players in the world, create world-class art, and mimic songs of your favorite artists. It can make you pass exams, write poetry for your loved one, and even make scripts for YouTube videos like this one. At a time like this, you can't help but wonder, what the fuck is actually happening? Where are we going with all this? While some people are of the opinion that AI and automation is what's gonna break humanity through to new frontiers, others believe that this is what's gonna cost us our livelihoods and eventually lead humanity to doom. Well, none of those people are wrong. And you can see examples of both sides playing out right in front of you. People are losing their jobs, their livelihood. Businesses are going belly up or being forced to settle for less and less every passing day. I mean, this shit is scary, no question about it. And like it or not, there will come a time when you will get affected by AI on a personal and professional level. But the real question that you should ask yourself is, to what extent? If you're smug enough to think that you're not replaceable, that there's no way that's gonna happen, then wait 5 years. Wait 5 years and you'll likely be proved wrong. For better or for worse, we're moving to a future where menial, repetitive tasks will be phased out due to AI. And a lot of people are going to lose their jobs. Heck, even the products of unimaginable creativity, which is considered to be the soul of our human foundation, is now only a prompt or two away. At a time like this, it might seem hard to imagine a future that plays out exactly like how we want to. I get that. If jobs don't exist, what do we do to earn money? The good news is, jobs aren't going anywhere. Not for people who are willing to use their time today to upskill and re-educate themselves. And those who do that will become irreplaceable. So how do you become irreplaceable in the age of AI and automation? The answer to that is you need to adopt a certain mindset and learn a certain set of skills that make you irreplaceable. Simple, but not easy. So let's dive right in and talk about mindset first, because as I say, everything starts here. This is going to be a long video, so bear with me here, okay? When it comes to cultivating the right mindset, you need to start by accepting the fact that AI is here to stay, and it's only going to get better. Unless something terribly terrible happens and we as a society collectively decide to stop the rapid progression of AI, it is going to advance and it is going to take away a lot of jobs. To overcome this problem, what you need to do is adopt a growth mindset. Having a growth mindset means that you believe that your potential is not confined by your environment or current circumstances. That you're always open to acquiring new knowledge, learning new skills, and exploring new avenues to solve problems. And the bigger problems you solve that exist in our society, the better you'll be rewarded for it. At least that's the general idea. When you adopt a growth mindset, you no longer tend to feel threatened by changes that are happening around you, nor do you get frustrated or shy away from challenges. You become more adaptable as a person, and it is a fact that the ability to embrace change and maintain composure when things don't go as planned is one of the things that separates winners from the losers. It is survival of the fittest, not the strongest or the smartest, the fittest. With a growth mindset, you can become exactly that. With this mindset, you can arm yourself with skills that individuals need to adapt in the face of uncertainty and seize new opportunities. And to cultivate a growth mindset, you'll need to rewire your brain and unlearn a few aspects of your social conditioning. Number one, being fear and shame associated to failure. Society often stigmatizes failure and places a great deal of emphasis on avoiding mistakes. Think about it. As children, we would often be rewarded only when we succeeded, while our failures would go either unnoticed or punished. Parents would try their best to get their kids involved in activities they thought their kids would enjoy and have the best chance to succeed. And they'd even discourage straying from the set path or making mistakes. As a result, a lot of children grow up with the fear of being judged or shamed by their families or friends if they fail at something. This fear of failure can hold us back from taking risks and pursuing new opportunities. Unlearning this conditioning involves recognizing that failure is a natural part of the learning process. We need to shift our perspective to see failure as a stepping stone towards success rather than a sign of incompetence. Number two is the meaning of success. Society often imposes narrow definitions of success such as academic achievements, wealth, or status. Unlearning this conditioning means expanding our understanding of success to include personal growth, learning, and fulfillment. Success feels nothing if we feel miserable in our day-to-day life and we always have to wear a mask to hide it. It's crucial to define success on your own terms and prioritize goals that are aligned with our values and passions. When you do that, you might quickly realize that the rat race means nothing to you if the only thing you get from it is money. If the future successful version of you is highly anxious or stressed, then what's the point of success anyway? Number three is fixed beliefs about intelligence. Many of us have been conditioned to believe that intelligence and abilities are fixed traits. We are often praised or criticized based on our natural talents, leading us to develop a fixed mindset. Yeah, not all of us are born equal, and some are inherently more talented or smart. And we can get into the whole nature versus nurture debate, but that would be pointless. What I'm getting at is that it's pointless to worry about how smart other people are instead of working on yourself. To cultivate a growth mindset, we must unlearn the belief that our growth and abilities are predetermined. Instead, we need to embrace the idea that we can improve through effort and practice. Number four is life being all about competition. Social conditioning often encourages us to compare ourselves to others and engage in unhealthy competition. Asian societies especially are stereotyped to be practicing this, but it really happens everywhere to some extent. And a person who grows up believing that life is all about getting ahead of others will often end up sabotaging themselves by engaging in self-doubt and envy. Because this is what happens when you're always focused on what others are doing and you can't match or beat them at it. Unlearning this conditioning involves focusing on your own progress and your own growth rather than comparing yourself to someone else. How many followers do they have on Instagram? How many money do they make every year? How many vacations have they been on recently? Nothing keeps you chained to your current conditions more than your recurring thoughts. And it is by taking control of these thoughts that you can eventually take control over your life. Number five is seeking external validation. Right from our childhood, society also reinforces the need for external validation and approval. Because why not? We're in this together. We're all in this together. But the problem is that other people, for the most part, don't even care what's going on in your life. If you're someone who ties your sense of self-worth to what other people think of you, you're going to have a tough time doing what you want to do and becoming who you want to become. Because as soon as you stop getting validation or reassurance from an external source, you'd feel discouraged, demotivated, and judged for your actions. Unlearning this conditioning involves shifting our focus from seeking validation from others to cultivating self-acceptance and self-approval. Embracing intrinsic motivation and valuing personal growth over external recognition is the key to developing a growth mindset. Cultivating and fostering a growth mindset is not easy. It could take you years of trying new things, failing at them, and at the same time unlearning some toxic aspects you picked up throughout the years. Unlearning social conditioning requires self-awareness, reflection, and the willingness to challenge deeply ingrained beliefs enforced upon you by your parents, your teachers, your religion, or your society. It's a gradual process that involves consciously questioning societal norms and embracing alternate perspectives. By unlearning these conditioned beliefs and behaviors, we can create space for a growth mindset to flourish and unlock our full potential. And if you don't get this mental part done right for some reason, the next section will be even harder for you to comprehend. The next section being the knowledge and skills required to become irreplaceable, the practical aspects. And before going any further, I'm going to throw you a bitter pill to swallow. You ready? The truth is, there's no such thing as irreplaceable. If anybody tries to convince you otherwise, they're probably trying to sell you something. Everybody is replaceable, even doctors and lawyers, and people in other professions that are widely considered to be evergreen. If not by AI, then they could definitely be replaced by other doctors and lawyers. Think about it. If a doctor stops investing in himself and over time builds a reputation for being unreliable, wouldn't his patients go elsewhere? The same way, if you're someone who has a rigid mindset, that is, someone who doesn't care about upskilling, self-improvement, or the need for self-education, no matter which line of work that you're in, you're likely going to be replaced sooner or later. Doesn't matter if it's by AI or a human who's better than you. While it is true that nobody is really irreplaceable in the literal sense, you can come close to being one by investing into self-education. But here's the catch. In this day and age, learning one skill and investing all of your time and energy into improving that said skill is just not enough. Today, it's not like how it was 100 or 200 years ago when most communities were self-sufficient and individuals typically focused on a specific trade or craft throughout their life. Learning one skill such as farming, blacksmithing, or carpentry provided the means to earn a livelihood, and this continued for generations, where the sons would take up after their father's trade and it'd be life as usual. But those days are gone, and they've been gone for a while now. Today, you can't expect to be just good at one skill with the hope that it sustains you for life. Now, you have to be good at multiple things that could be both complementary or antagonistic to each other. So what are complementary and antagonist skills? This is very important. Listen carefully. Let's say you're a designer who designs logos mostly, and you want to advance your career and make more money. For you, complementary skills would be learning about other traditional creative tasks like 3D logo design, logo animation, video editing, sound design. When you learn all these complementary skills, you can then maybe bundle everything up and offer a service like cinematic logo animation, where it has all the components of a regular logo but better suited for a different platform or a different purpose. This way you not only earn more money, but show your client your expertise on video production. Similarly, if you're a copywriter who could stand to benefit from learning complementary skills like basic WordPress, web design, SEO, funnels, creating media for Facebook ads, stack these skills together and you're no longer just a copywriter. You're a marketer who brings in traffic and turns leads into paying customers. See how complementary skills work? These skills are called complementary skills because, well, they complement one another. And for a creative person who's in the creative industry, learning more creative work is easy because there's less mental resistance and it's fun. What you're essentially doing here is offering an all-in-one service to a client, a package which says, hey, you hire me and I'll get the job done and make sure that you don't have to hire anyone else. And like I said before, bigger the problem you solve, the better the reward. The problem, however, occurs when it comes to learning antagonistic skills. Let's say, for example, we have an organization and we have a website that's a visual representation of the said organization. This website, like others, has two major components. On the front end, you have the media, the creative stuff like web copy, the page design, UI, UX, and other stuff. And on the back end, you have the technical stuff, the code that holds everything together. Both components here are equally useful because without an attractive front end, the visitors won't just stick around. And without a robust back end, navigating the website will be a pain in the ass or even impossible. But here's the thing. leaving philosophical perspectives aside, because I know some people will say writing code is art too. Well, leaving that argument aside, design and code are supposed to be kinda antagonistic to each other, where the IT guys feel like the designers get paid when all they do is draw some lines and dress up weird, and the creative guys feel like all the nerds at IT do is steal code from GitHub all day and pass it on as productivity. You get what I'm trying to say. This is a rather extreme comical example, but you get my point, right? To become truly high value and future proof yourself, you need to learn both coding and design, two skills that are seemingly polar opposite to each other. Now, I'm not saying that you need to be equally good at both, because that's asking too much from anyone. But if you're a designer, knowing the limitations or flaws in coding will help you understand to what extent your design can be implemented to keep the website running at its maximum speed. And if you're an IT guy who also has knowledge on design, you can offer more constructive feedback to the design guys on how to better tweak or optimize their designs so that's easier on the coder to implement. Antagonistic skills refer to acquiring knowledge and abilities that may seem contradictory or unrelated at first glance, but can complement and enhance each other in unexpected ways. By learning antagonistic skills, you gain a broader skill set that allows you to adapt to changing circumstances and explore diverse career opportunities. Also, it boosts your critical thinking skills, your creativity, and the ability to connect concepts that seem completely unrelated, which ultimately leads to innovative solutions that most specialists would overlook. You'd be able to connect the dots that most people don't even know exist. The mindset of adaptability and curiosity is an asset in an ever-changing world where AI seems to be the dominant force that's causing major changes. The future will not belong to those who go deep and specialize. It will belong to those who go wide, those who stack their skills on top of each other and consistently put their offering in front of the highest paying customers. By combining multiple monetizable skills together, you open the door to solving seemingly impossible problems and making big money. You become that guy or that girl to whom everyone comes for advice. Even something as this video, which looks rather simple to most people, is the product of stacking multiple skills, each of which are monetizable in and of themselves. To make one video, I have to write a detailed script first and foremost, then record myself talking about the script, which involves two skills: speaking confidently and knowing how to operate a camera. Then I cut the video to remove fluff and edit it in a way that makes this video interesting. Then I might even go out and film some B-roll to include in this video. Then I finally put everything together and make things better using sound design. A lot of people who are into content creation follow the same process without even knowing their skill stacking. So yeah, maybe it's not as intimidating as it sounds, but this is how you become high value, by learning multiple skills and stacking them on top of each other. Something else that AI won't be able to replace, or at least not replace now, are your soft skills. Your ability to talk to other people, listen to their point of view, build relationships and form alliances. People who are good at this are already way ahead of those lacking in communication skills. After all, we live in a society and we do need help from others to thrive. In the future, we'll see the world moving even further away from competition and embracing collaboration, because to create a high value product or a high value service, we need minds from different areas of expertise working together to achieve one common goal. So this, my friend, is your time to embrace change. Invest in yourself, invest in other people, and try to make the most of what's coming. Now, you might think, is this what life is all about? Learning how to make money? So when do I get to have all the fun in life? And those are really valid questions, I'm not gonna lie. Life isn't at all about doing things that ultimately lead you to more money, because money cannot or should not be one's prime motivator. But if you follow my channel, I'm guessing you kind of want to solve the money issue first before moving on to other problems. Let me give you another perspective. Since you're anxious about the future and the state of the world we're in right now, how can having a little more money in your bank account hurt? People are always going on and on about how they're going to be replaced, but nobody wants to work on themselves to prevent that. Nobody wants to do the hard things. To address this point, we again have to go back to the mindset issue we discussed previously in this video. The point is not to make money as the sole motivator for self-improvement, because the desire for more money eventually goes away, or at least fades after a certain point for most people. I guess I'm asking you to not treat money as the end goal, but rather as a byproduct of you investing in self-improvement and self-education. You're not doing this for money or external validation. You're doing this to become the best version of yourself. This is a lifelong journey, and if you feel unsure about where to start, I recommend that you go and watch these other two videos: how to get a hobby or skill that scales into a successful business, and how to become an expert at anything. With that being said, that's all I have to say for today. Like, comment, subscribe, and send this to a friend if you think it's helpful. See you.